What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking all about the brand new division that's coming to Call of Duty World War II tomorrow. This division is called Cavalry, and this was kind of teased on the community update on Friday. You could see the guy with the riot shield, and then on his arm you could see he had a patch that said Cavalry on there, which strongly hinted at a new division called Cavalry. Turns out that is the case. We do have this brand new division. And we now have access to all of the perks for this Cavalry Division, as well as how everything works and how it's integrated with the shield in the game. Now first up, gonna give a big shout out and thank you to Jordan, or Espresso, friend of mine who was actually at the DLC 3 event. I was unable to attend this time around, so I did get all of my information from him. I will leave a link to his video down below. In that video, he actually has Riot Shield gameplay, so definitely feel free to check that out. Unfortunately, I don't have any Riot Shield gameplay for you, but I am going to be sharing exactly how it all works, as well as sharing my thoughts on it. So let's hop straight into the individual division training skills. Just like with all the other divisions, we have 4 division training skills. The first division training skill is the one that allows you to carry a shield that offers protection against attacks. So this is the shield that we saw in that image from the community update on Friday. No big surprises here, but an interesting thing to note is the only way that you'll be able to use this shield is if you're using the Cavalry Division. So you can't use that shield with Armored or Mountain or anything like that. You have to use Cavalry, and then that shield immediately takes your primary weapon slot. However, according to Jordan, you essentially have Rifleman built in, so your secondary slot allows you to choose any one of the weapons in the game. So if you wanted to, you can choose a rifle or an LMG or an SMG. You can pick whatever you want for your secondary. Another interesting thing to point out is if you have your weapon out and the shield is on your back, it will protect you from behind. And it's actually quite large as well from what I've seen in the gameplay. It will cover a very good portion of your back, and your enemies essentially have to shoot the back of your legs and the back of your feet in order to kill you if they sneak up behind you. So it's going to be very powerful for that, but you don't always have to have it on your back. You can also carry it around and use it like a riot shield, and you can crouch so that your feet are protected and just face towards your enemies, and they're going to have a really hard time hitting you. So that's the first part of the division, pretty self-explanatory. You get the shield, and that's how the shield works. The second division training skill is while sprinting, you can do a shield charge to ram enemies. And this is very similar to the bayonet charge in the game. So you hit your melee button as you're sprinting, and then you will charge in a pretty much straight line towards your enemy, presumably at a slightly faster speed than normal sprinting, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then you'll be able to hit your enemy. Now, according to Jordan, the shield is actually a 2-hit kill against a full health enemy. He says even when you're doing this shield charge ability, which is quite surprising to me. I really did think this is going to be a 1-hit kill if you actually have the full charge activated and you don't just hit the melee button when you happen to be close to a guy. I would have thought that would be a 1-hit kill, but it looks like it is a 2-hit kill on a full health enemy. Perhaps it's a 1-hit kill from behind, just like the normal melee attack if you have a gun in your hand. This is definitely going to require some testing. So that's the second division training skill. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is improved objective capabilities. This one is very interesting, and it's going to be very, very useful for those objective players out there. What this means is in a game mode like Domination, you can actually capture flags slightly faster than you can without this division training skill. Now, I can't confirm, but I feel this will also apply to planting and defusing bombs. You'll be able to do that a little bit faster, I believe. As well as building things, especially in the war game mode, you'll likely be able to build as well as plant explosive on walls and stuff. You'll be able to do that faster and more effectively while using this division training skill. So that one I think is pretty cool and does pair nicely with the rest of this division from what we've seen so far. This brings us to the final division training skill. With this one, objectives will give extra score, and when you get 2 assists, they will equal a kill for you. Now the first part of that, objectives giving extra score, anytime you're getting objective related points, so if you're capturing a flag in Domination, or if you're killing an enemy near a flag in Domination, you will get bonus score towards your score streaks. Now I went through some gameplay and I did the math on this. Just for an example, if you're getting an attack or defend kill in Domination, so a kill that's near a flag, without this division training skill, you get 75 score for getting the kill, plus 50 score for the defend or the attacker medal. This means you get a total of 125 score for that kill towards your score streaks. With the Cavalry Division, with this exact same style of kill, it's going to give you that 75 base score for the kill, which is just standard, and then it's going to give you 65 score on top of that instead of 50, which means you get a total of 140 score per kill while attacking or defending a flag instead of just 125. So definitely a noticeable improvement there, and this is going to help you get those streaks up a little bit faster if you're a really objectively oriented player. Just one other example, if you're capturing a flag in Domination, normally you get 150 score for capturing that flag. If you're using the fully ranked up Cavalry Division, you will get 200 score for capturing that flag. So we're looking at a roughly 30% increase to your objective score while using the fully ranked up Cavalry Division. Now for the second part of that last division training skill, Every time you get 2 assists, you will be awarded a kill on the scoreboard. Presumably, this is also going to help you towards a V2 type of streak. Also, I'm interested to see how this is going to play out with Blitzkrieg. I feel like this could pair well with Blitzkrieg if it actually works with Blitzkrieg. So if you get 2 assists, then it will actually give you one of those kill points towards your score streak when you're using Blitzkrieg. Again, that's something I'm going to have to do some testing to confirm that with absolute certainty, but I feel like it would make sense that that would happen. And that's pretty much it for the Cavalry Division, at least the Division training skills. Overall, my thoughts on that so far, it seems like a fun addition to the game for the most part. I feel like the shield may end up being a little bit annoying if like a bunch of people are using it, but at the same time, you have to be using the Cavalry Division, which means you're not using armored, which means you're going to be vulnerable to explosives and tacticals. So I do feel like it is a relatively fair trade-off to have this shield, but be forced to use the Cavalry Division in order to use that shield. I think that's definitely the right way to handle it, because if they just added the shield as a primary weapon that you could use with any division, I definitely feel there would be some overpowered combinations, like using it with armored, where you'd be pretty much invulnerable to any sort of equipment. Now, personally, do I see myself using the Cavalry Division all that much? Probably not after like the first week or so when it's in the honeymoon phase and it's exciting and new. I really don't see myself using this too often, but hey, every now and then maybe I'll pull it out just for some fun on the side. One last thing I wanted to mention with the Cavalry Division is just like with all the other divisions, once you prestige that division, you will get a brand new weapon. This brand new weapon is an SMG and it's called the ZK383. The really interesting thing about this SMG that we haven't seen in any of the other guns in this game is it has 2 firing modes that you can toggle. You have the faster firing mode where it's got a ton of recoil but it fires really quickly, kind of like a Thompson or a Waffe 28. Then you have the slower firing mode that looks like it's more along the lines of a grease gun, maybe faster than a grease gun, but it is noticeably slower than the faster firing mode. Now, I don't have all the details on this. I don't know if there's any effect on your damage or if it's just a recoil effect when you swap between these modes. I feel like they probably would have had to tweak some sort of damage or range values while toggling modes in order for this to make any sense. But that's the kind of stuff that I will be covering in my gun guide that should be coming hopefully towards the end of this week. I should have everything compiled for you, and I'll let you guys know exactly how that SMG works. In addition to this, this is something that we're not 100% sure about, so don't quote me on this yet, but it looks like you may have to prestige the Cavalry Division in order to unlock the Specialist Basic Training skill. For those of you guys that didn't see yesterday's video, the Specialist Basic Training skill is just like Specialists from Modern Warfare 3. As you rack up score in one life, you start earning more and more basic trainings until you get the Specialist bonus, which will award you all of the basic trainings in the game. And I just wanted to make a quick note about that because a lot of people were wondering in yesterday's video. It's going to give you all the basic training skills that make sense to be able to just suddenly apply to your character in the middle of your life. So for many of them, they won't make any sense, like Wanderlust. It's not just going to suddenly change up your gun or anything like that. Or Serrated, it's not going to take your gun away and just give you a melee weapon. It's not going to do any of those things. It's more so just the basic training skills that would make sense to automatically apply to your character mid-life. So with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's quick video on the Cavalry Division. As always, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what are you guys thinking about this Cavalry Division so far, as well as how it interacts with the shield? Do you think it's going to be balanced? Do you think it's going to be overpowered? Do you think it's going to be completely useless or annoying? Let me know what you guys are currently thinking about that so far. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.